Hello, I'm Jared Kushevsky. I'm a computer technician and hello again. We're presenting from Windows 7. This is June 2012 when I'm shooting this. For today's instructional video, we'll be talking about selecting items quick and expediently, whether it's files and folders because we're going to do copy and pasting, or we're word processing or text editing and we're typing in a bunch of stuff and we want to rapidly select something so we can either delete it, copy, paste it, move it, whatever. I might have one extra goodie at the end if there's time. Alright, so I will bring open the on-screen keyboard so you can see when I'm hitting Control and Shift. I'll double click the computer icon on the desktop and we'll go to the C drive. Here's some elements here. We'll go ahead and start our topic. We'll click on the top item because we want to select it, let's say, and I'll hold the Shift key down and then I'll click lower. It selects everything from point A to B because I was holding Shift when that happened. Moving on, you can click on things with your mouse, onesie twosie. You can even click on the right area to the right of the file name, so it's kind of white space, we're not really clicking on it. If you left click and hold, you can kind of drag, roping these items if you will, and selecting them. But if we were in the Windows directory, that becomes a bit of a pain. We click and hold and we go down and it takes a while for it to scroll through a huge amount of stuffs. So if I click the top item and I hold Shift and I can scroll down and click the last item and it selected everything. You can even use, like I can hit home and end and it jumps to the beginning and ending file here. Home, Shift, End, bam, everything in the directory is selected. You could also hit Control A to select everything in a directory. We can learn that by reading menus like the Edit menu, and you can see that. You're probably wondering how I made that show up. If you hit the Alt thing, you get your menus back. On some of the things, they don't have the menu bar visible, but in Vista and in Windows 7, you can go ahead and have that show up. So that's how I did that. Alright, so that's Shift. Let's go ahead and cover what Control can do for you for stuff. If I want to select a big bunch of things, like let's say this was a bunch of spam that came in on my email. Most of it I don't want to read, but I want to deselect a few things. If I hold Control, now that I've done my Shift to select stuff, I'll hold Control only at this point, and I'll click on something and it toggles it on or off. If I make a mistake, I can toggle it on or off repeatedly by just clicking it. So that works cool. You can even use rope selects for a lower portion. You can rope select and it even inverts your selection, turning it off or on. Okay, so that's what Control can do for you. Now that we have some items selected and you want to copy it somewhere, I don't really advocate left clicking and dragging anything. If you left click and drag, it's going to move it. You'll notice at this point in Windows 7 it's helpful to tell us what's going to happen. Now if I go to the title bar here, I can't copy it there, so that's a way of safely stopping that from happening. If I right click and drag and then release, it's still telling me it's going to move it, but when I right click and release, it gives me a second function menu so I can hit copy it here, move it here, create shortcuts for all these many things that I've selected on my desktop. That would be a lot of shortcuts. I'll hit cancel. So if you were to accidentally click right on the item, it's going to straight go to what am I going to do with this? So that's to be avoided. When you're rope selecting, you got to do that out in Nowhereville, and that'll work. So that's Control and Shift and how you can use it in the file selection so you can then copy and paste or drag or whatnot. I'll close this up. I'm going to go ahead and create an item on my desktop to show you one more thing Shift can be good for. So I'm going to go right click, new folder. So here's a folder on the desktop, right? Recycle bin's empty at this point. I will right click and hit delete, or it's selected. I could have just hit delete. It offers me the opportunity to send it to the recycle bin, and then I have to take my trash out, so I have to like delete it twice. What if you're really sure you just want to detonate it, blow it up, get rid of it right now? I'm going to hit no. Watch what happens. It's selected. I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm going to hit delete. Are you sure you want to permanently delete this folder? It will send it straight to oblivion. No recycle bin involved. So if you really want to get rid of something quick and you want to fly without a safety net, hold Shift when you hit delete, and bammo. It did not go to the recycle bin. It just went straight boom. Okay, I will go ahead and raise this so I can launch Word 2010 at this point and show you what Control and Shift can do for us in the word processing environment. First we must type a sentence, let's say. or type some words. I'll even punctuate it with a period. Type some words. Control and Shift can be useful here too. We'll start with Shift. I'll hold Shift since I'm at the end of the line. I can click with the mouse and you'll notice how I can select stuff. That's cool. With the mouse, even not involving Shift, you can double click a word and it'll select the word. If you hold Shift and you hit the cursor arrow keys on your keyboard, it'll select character by character. Not too fast, but it still works. If I had multiple lines, let me create that for us really quick here. So I selected it, Control C, we'll hit paste a couple bazillion times. If I hold Shift at this point being in the midline here and hit down, it's going to select line by line or character by character. Now if you want to jump around faster left to right, Control can help you out there. I'll be at the end of this line, I'll hold Control, and then we'll hit cursor arrow left, 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 left. It's jumping word by word, finding either the space or period as an anchor point to stop at. Now if I add Shift to this, and then I hit right, 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 I'm selecting word by word. That's kind of good. So if you're typing and you want to change your thought mid-sentence, backspace is a little bit too slow. You want to go quicker. I'll hit Control and Shift and select that word right now, and I'll put cool stuff. So now I've changed that sentence really quickly, because once you select something, you start typing, it blows it away. So that's a quick way you can work using Control and Shift. One other thing you can use inside of Microsoft-based word processors like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Works, WordPad even, I can hit Control and Shift. We'll select one word, let's say. While still holding Control and Shift, you can hit greater than or less than and control the font size. Doesn't work for all word processors. Sometimes it's Control Shift greater than less than in Microsoft stuff, plus or minus in other ones, or Control plus or minus maybe, but that's kind of cool. Most of us use Word, so thought I'd show that one to you as well. Okay, looks like time's doing okay, so I'll show you my one last little trick. To navigate files very quickly, I'll go back to Computer and C drive. If I need to get into a directory really fast and I already know what it is, let's say it's the Windows System 32 directory. I want to get into Windows. I'll click on the right pane so I'm in the right pane. I'll type WIN really fast and it jumps to the only thing having Win in it. I double click it. Now if I want to jump down to the S's, I can type S and it jumps down to the S's. But I wanted to get to System 32. If I type System Fast or SYS, it jumps right down to Sys. And if I wanted to go to System 32, I'd have to type System 3, more typing, or I can just type SYS and then cursor down one and enter, and I'm there. If you aren't a fast typer, if you like System and then 3 like 32, you linger too long, it starts over again. So if you type S and then long pause Y, it won't jump to SY, it'll jump to the Y's. So you got to be a fast typist if you're going to go ahead and use this particular little nugget. Well, that's all for this video at this time. Check in for other stuff on other videos. Thank you.